Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. Ron here at Lame Duck Studios, and here we are in our second part of the Unreal interface, and we're going to focus on the viewport specifically, involving the lights and the different camera settings up here. Over to the side here, we have our different views. We have perspective, which is what we're currently in. We also have a top view, which shows you up top. Now, the default orthogonal views are going to be in wireframe. You can view these in a different way. So if you go over here, you can set it to lit, or you can go down to unlit, or vice versa. But the default is wireframe in this view. Same thing with bottom, left, and right, front. Whoops, it's perspective. Front and back. Okay. Now, front, back, left, and right all look the same, but be aware that we have an object here that does have a discernible front. So from this object's front, it would look the same from all sides because it's a square, or a rectangle in this case. There's also a drop down here for setting real time your stats displays up here. You can also show FPS, shows your FPS timer. If you want to take a screenshot, you can do that too. Down here, you have the option to grab a high resolution screenshot. You can also do different layouts. You can customize your layouts in your view. Now, the different lighting modes. Lit uses the default lighting, so whatever lights are in your scene, this is how it's going to look. If you add a light, for example, I'll go ahead and grab one. If you add a light, this is what you're going to see, how it's going to render with this preview. If you do unlit, it's going to turn off all lights and remove shading. So you can see there's no shadows. Everything is filled in without any kind of fall off from the angle of the light. If I put this cube right over here, you'll see no shadow. You can see there's no shadow. If I turn lights back on, now it has a shadow. Wireframe is for viewing wireframe, so this is what the world looks like. If you want detailed lighting, it's going to give you a higher contrast of your shadows and your highlights. Okay, it's really handy if you want to see features in something. So, like if I grab a staircase, for example, and throw this in, you can see with detailed lighting on, you can see the gradient of each face and the fall off of how the light works. It's just a much sharper contrast. And if we do lights only, this renders using only the lights and without any texture shading. Reflections shows you their world reflections. And that's what this little guy here is. This guy is getting the world and applying reflections to it. So if I were to delete him, we would not have any reflections. Player collisions, if you want to see what you can collide with, that's pretty handy. Visibility collisions, things that are in your view that you could collide with also. So these are different types of channels. So you can have things that are specified to collide only with the player. That's what you show up here. And you can also set a visibility channel for things that you could collide with as well. So if something is invisible, it wouldn't show up in here. And there are a few other options and features as well. Show. These are different toggles for different objects in your scene. For example, if I don't want to see the atmosphere, I can turn that off. If I don't want to see BSPs, which is this staircase here, that's that. All BSPs are under the geometry tab, so these are all BSPs. Static meshes, those are things that are brought in or made in a third-party package like Maya or Max. That turns that off. Skeletal mesh, these are for characters or things that have a skeleton. Particle effects, if you have those, you can turn those on and off. Okay, so that is the general lighting and your viewports in a nutshell. In the next one, we're going to take a look at our content browser and our different tabs. All right, stay tuned, and I shall see you in the next one. Hey guys, we have done it. We're at 1,000 subscribers, and I have you to thank for it. Couldn't be happier. Thank you, awesome. Channel's been going on for a couple of years now, and we are at that point where we can kind of start moving forward and getting all kinds of awesome stuff, right? 1,000 subscribers is just a little bit away from 1,000,000 subscribers. All right, small milestones at a time. Yeah, it's been a big, long time coming, so thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing and, of course, staying interested and learning, and that you would come to me to learn all kinds of neat stuff. That being said, I want to do something and celebrate. So what should we do? What should we make? I'm a big fan of doing like clones of games. I have a list on my Patreon as a poll. You can kind of go there and you don't have to sign up or anything, although I'd love it if you did. But if you head over there, it's publicly available. You just go to the poll and pick the one that you want. I put about 7 or so. So yeah, so 7 of those. But I picked like a Mario 64 clone or Star Fox 64. I really wanted to make a Star Fox clone for like a long time, but Mario would be kind of cool. Always a big fan of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Do those. Or Soul Reaver. Big fan of Soul Reaver series. I like make Raziel and that sort of thing. FTL. Why not? Because FTL is kind of neat. Wanted to have something that was different, right? Always a fan of Metroidvanias. So we could do like a Super Metroid kind of setup or a Mortal Kombat kind of setup, so a fighting game. Now, I say clones, but they're really going to be, because of copyright, we couldn't do Mario 64 outright, right? We couldn't make Mario and we couldn't do everything, but we can certainly make it Mario 64-esque, right? So we'll make a Mario-looking kind of character and dress him up appropriately, and then kind of make the hub world and that sort of thing. I'm going to keep these kind of in scope so that we're not going too far out, because of course time management's a thing. I teach full time. I also do this and whatever not. So gotta keep it within reason. But I would definitely be, for like the Mario 64 thing, I would make the character and some of the pieces for the hub world, and of course the bomb level, and kind of get that set up and kind of run through and see how that works. So this would be like a knockoff of that. Same thing as like Star Fox. We would do like the main overworld view and the map, and getting into there. Blood Omen. I would probably do the opening sanctuary crypt and then the cemetery when you first get out. Soul Reaver. Probably do the underworld all the way to the first exit. So when you get the first soul and you exit and you transition into the living world. I think the transition from living to dark world would be kind of cool. See how that is done. Plus, it would give me a chance to explore doing that inside of Unreal Engine. They initially did this. I don't think they used Unreal for this. They used. Fun fact is they actually used Unreal for Blood Omen. And then Crystal Dynamics didn't pay their royalty fees, and they went under. So make sure you pay your royalty fees. FTL. I would probably do that in Game Maker. It's just a 2D game. Metroidvania kind of deal. You can do that in pretty much anything. We could do it in Unreal, or we could do it in Game Maker, or whichever. I'll let you guys pick what engine you want to do it in. I think for some things it's easier to do it in Game Maker, and in other aspects it would be easier to do it in Unreal. So you just kind of pick your battles there. And then for a fighting game, I would do like a Mortal Kombat style kind of clone. 2 fighters, kind of keep it simple. 1 arena, because setting up the animations is going to be what takes the most time. And keep it simple. Just kind of have like a roadmap of success of how to get that done. So any one of these I think would be great. You can always leave a comment if you think you have a better idea. But definitely go over here, and if this is something you would like to do or like to see me make as sort of the 1,000 subscriber reward, because we've hit it, definitely go over here and check it. And yeah, you'll see the link in the description. And once again, thank you guys for supporting the channel, and I will see you next time.